Hey, Battle of Ontario. How would we rank the top 5 defensemen playing in Ontario right now?
Oh man, put me on the spot here.
Me too.
Here's the thing, okay? I think there's some promise with a couple of guys in Ottawa. So, like, are we ranking based on promise or like right now? Had to win one game right now.
I think expectations going into the entirety of next season. So taking in a bit of growth, because to me, Jake Sanderson's number one on both teams. He's that good. I really think that we're going to see this year.
I think he becomes the best out of anybody on those squads. I don't know if it's as early as this season though. I might put the pause button there for a year or two, but I think he does become a number one or top pair defenseman at the very least. I agree with that.
So fun to watch, man. Like it's
Yeah.
all the little things with him. And the NHL Network did a little segment on him. It wasn't with this countdown. I'm not advocating for him to be a top 20 defenseman. I will pump the brakes there for sure, Mikey. But when I watch him play and look at 32 points, he only had 5 less 5-on-5 points than Lucas Raymond last year. That was a little surprise. Had some fun with Wings fans with that one. But no, just to me, but I can hear an argument. So who's your top guy then?
I mean, it probably would be Mo. I think Morgan Riley I put in at number one, then, Chychrun, and then Sanderson. I think Sanderson comes in probably after Chychrun. Yeah, I guess Shabbat's up. You know what? Who would you put there? Shabbat, where would you fit him into this ranking?
Me, him, and Morgan Riley are pretty interchangeable because they're both offensive defensemen. And funny enough, Shabbat played 3 more games, but they had the identical amount of points last year. That's it. That's interesting to me. But obviously each have their defensive liabilities.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, like, is Mo the number one, no doubt, for you on the Leafs?
Yes. On the Leafs, yeah, for sure. For sure. Like, I can hear the argument for Shabbat, to be honest with you, but I don't think there's anybody there is nobody better on the Leafs. I mean, you can make the argument, I guess, TJ Brodie as like a defensive guy. He's a more reliable player, but someone who's got the best ceiling, the best potential to give you the most in a game, I'd say it's Morgan Riley. I mean, we saw him in the playoffs too, really dial it back. He was fantastic in the playoffs. Like, that guy looked like a Norris caliber defenseman in the playoffs. I'm hoping that he can bring it forward into another season, because if he played like the way he did in that first round against Tampa, if he plays that way next season, he could fit his way into the top 20 list next year. I fully believe that.
Huge year for both Morgan Riley and for Thomas Chabot. If I'm doing my top 5 though, I'll go Jake Sanderson 1. I'm actually going to go a tie for 2, but I'll give a slight edge to Morgan Riley. And then I'm going Thomas Chabot, and then I'm going Jake Chychrun. I just want to temper the expectations a little bit on Chychrun. And then I don't know if this is a surprise to you, but I'm going with Jake McCabe here at 5, a guy we haven't even mentioned yet. I think that
no chance you can put McCabe over Brodie. Not even close. Come on, not even close.
I don't know.
Not even close.
I'm just not that impressed when I watch Brodie, but I guess I haven't appreciated his game. You think
Jake McCabe was on the ice.
Took a ton of penalties, I will say that.
No, there was a stat that I had that was he was on the ice for something like 71% of the goals in the Tampa series, something like that. Like, it wasn't pretty. He was on the ice for like 11 goals in that series.
Yeah, wow, -7 in 11 games. He was good in the regular season for them, though.
He was okay. He was good. Yeah, he was all right.
Where'd you put Liljegren in this conversation?
He still has some steps to go. Like, I would put Liljegren.
Based on what you just said about Jake McCabe, like, who would you have between those two guys?
That's a toss-up, honestly. Those two to me would be a toss-up.
Would you put Eric Brandstrom and Artem Zub? How would you put all 4 of those, throw them in a blender?
I'd have Zub. I think I'd have Zub ahead of both those guys.
Yeah, fair. But behind Brodie.
I'd have Brandstrom behind all of them. Yeah. So I probably would go Zub. Yeah, Brodie, Zub. Split. Let's go with McCabe, Liljegren, then Brandstrom.
And we forgot to say Travis Hamonick's actually 1-1.
Well, where are you putting John Klingberg?
The Hammer. Oh, yeah. John Klingberg. If you played 3-on-3 hockey, he would be all-time fun. Like he's high event. Like that's what he is. But is the pain worth the reward?
Yeah, this is a conversation for a Locked On Sens, Locked On Leafs crossover. So
well, we do say this is the Battle of Ontario edition.
True.
As mad as it may make some. You see the way we talked about the Petrie trade. Apparently, that we're like, why the heck is a Leafs fan and a Sens fan talking about Jeff Petrie? Well, it's the Eastern Conference edition of Locked On NHL.
That would be why. That would be why. It's our job to touch on everything that happens in the Eastern Conference.
That's right.
We are legitimate multitaskers when it comes to the National Hockey League.